Have too much stuff and you want to declutter, but you don't even know where to start? I got you. So I've been decluttering my whole life. I feel like the past year, just kind of like getting rid of things I'm not using and working on using up what I already have. Actually, for me, it started with decluttering fragrances, because that is where I think I went a little nuts on the fragrance talk and perfume talk and fragrance YouTube and perfume YouTube. It started in 2020. I've always loved beauty, and honestly, when it wasn't makeup and palettes, it kind of became in 2020 very much quickly body mist, perfume, body care stuff. And I never got to, I think, the level of some YouTubers of having like walls of perfumes, which I don't think I could ever like think about doing that. To me, that's insane. I'm not judging you if that's been you, if that's you, that's what makes you happy. But for me, it just feels so yucky. Like I will never use that much of anything. So I started decluttering, and then I started realizing half of the things I purchased, I think this was like a year ago, were things that I purchased because someone else convinced me that it was going to be good, and I actually got the product and I felt guilty that I spent the money, so I tried to use it even though I didn't like it. And this was like a repeat thing, and I know a lot of you are thinking the same thing. They want to declutter, you want to downsize. I haven't got a fucking flip phone. That's what I went to go get. This is my phone now. I'm filming on my iPhone, which I now use as an iPod, remember those, for the gym. And I basically just take it with me when I know I'm going to possibly need to do like a return or scan something in at UPS, something like that, and I take my phone with me to tether off of this and use it. But this is my phone, and a few people have made fun of me for it. I tried to get that Barbie phone, by the way, and it just doesn't work. Like, it doesn't work in the US. I feel like that's where it was. I was scrolling, doom scrolling, and then I would shop. Big mess. So this is how you declutter. So step one, me personally, I look through whatever I'm decluttering. For example, let's just do like your perfume collection. I will look at the perfumes and see which ones am I actually like using. I actually look at them and then think back to the last time I used this item, how I felt, and then I'll start there. If I have something that I've used maybe a handful of times a year ago and I've never touched it again, and last time I used it, I didn't really like the way it smelled, or it gave me a headache, it gave me a migraine, I will set it to the side, and then I'll make a pile, and then I'll go to either love it, I like it, I need to try it more, or I just don't like it, I need to get rid of it. And I'll do that very aggressively with all my things. At the end, when I have all the things I want to declutter, I'll put them in a bin. I have like a separate drawer unit over here that I use for like clothes. One of those drawers is for like work, it's for different things, but one of the drawers is just empty. I was using that for a while for like my declutter bin, and I would throw everything that I want to declutter in there, and I would let it sit there for at least a couple of weeks and see if I missed the item. Just pretend like I didn't have it, see if I went to go look for it, see if I reached for it. I will tell you that not once did I have an item that I put in there that I actually went and looked for it. And that says a lot. I think that says a lot about our practices as consumers. We do overbuy things, especially in the United States, especially if you have the means to, like, you tend to overbuy things, you just do. And I would just either do one of like several things. I would either donate them. For me, this was the easiest to do, is either give them to a friend, a family, or donate them. I donate to women's shelters, and most recently I've found that I can donate to senior centers, which to me gives me a lot of joy. The elderly need a lot of stuff. A lot of them have senior centers or even nursing homes where they have bingo and they need prizes. What better than a perfume or like a mist, a body mist, especially if it's brand new. I try to only give new stuff to the senior centers and to like places like that, but I'll give to women's shelters. A lot of women's shelters won't take used perfume or used personal care items for sanitary reasons. So another thing you can do is list them on your Facebook marketplace for free, and people will come get them. I had a girl for a while who would go to a church in Mexico and pick up used body care and take it to people who really needed it and would use it. And I thought that was really sweet. I lost touch with her. I gave her things, I think once or twice when I was moving, and there's people that do stuff like that. So look into that. If you really want to sell your things, I think the number one thing that I did is you have to get over the fact that you already spent the money. And I'm saying this because if you list it on sites, it's likely it won't sell and you're gonna get a fraction of what you paid for it. It's just reality. There are a few sites I would recommend. For example, I'm currently using two different apps right now that I'm trying out for my more expensive perfumes. One of them is a little bit more of an expensive app, meaning that they will charge you a higher percentage to sell there. But these two apps are meant a little bit more for the frag heads, for the people that are looking for fragrances, because I have found that when I list things on Mercari or eBay, number one, Mercari feels like a huge yard sale. I only really list now like the lower end perfumes. Anything higher end, niche or expensive things I've listed on Mercari, I have not had good luck in selling them. I've had lots of scammers. I've had lots of people claim empty boxes. I've had weird situations. I've had very strange people on Mercari. Though I've had a lot of good positive experiences, I would say the good definitely outweighs the negative. I don't trust Mercari enough to sell anything that's worth more than $200 on Mercari. So if you have like a Perfumes de Marly, a Creed, a niche perfume, something like that you want to sell, I think that these scent websites that are fragrance reselling and decanting type websites that are meant for me and you to sell to each other are much more up your alley. You're definitely going to get like a better consumer, somebody who really is looking for that perfume or looking for that fragrance and really wants to buy. And so the first one is Resent. Now, Resent charges a 20% fee from their platform. So I have never listed on there, but I've heard really good things. And actually I've had a few of you recommend some of these to me, and Resent was one that just kept coming up over and over and over again. And their app looks really good, really clean. It's really easy to list. I just haven't listed because to me 20% is a lot. And like, it's, how can I say, kind of like it's a reason not to sell on that site. So there's another one that's new that I just started listing things to. Never listed on here before, and actually have not sold anything yet, so I'll update you as soon as I sell something, but it's on Scentfine. So Scentfine is new and it's made specifically for fragrance fanatics, people that really love fragrance. I was looking on there. It's a lot of niche perfumes. It's a lot of higher end designer perfumes. And I listed a few things just to test the water to see how it goes. It's really easy to list. And they kind of give you a price guide as well, because I don't like pricing my items super, super high or super, super low. I feel like a fair price for the amount that's left in the bottle, especially on used bottles, is what I want to price it as. And I don't want to receive lowball offers. I feel like if I try and fairly price on Mercari, I'm going to get a lot of people like trying to hit me even lower because it's for a yard sale style on Mercari. But here, I haven't had any offers yet, but I've seen what some things have sold for, and it seems like things sell for what I would consider to be a fair price. For example, I'm selling a bottle of the J'adore Infinesme from 2023, and the suggested price was around $59. And I've seen that there's other bottles of Dior perfumes that have sold for about $50 that are partials, that are about 70% full. To me, that seems pretty fair. And on my end, if after their fees, I would get about $45, which is a lot better than a lot of other platforms. So I like that. I think it seems like it's pretty fair. So if you're looking to sell a large volume of your collection or quite a number of high-end or niche perfumes, I would try one of these two apps, or selling on Facebook Marketplace before I went the Mercari or Poshmark route. And the last way that I actually declutter is I actually just donate them to whoever. Like, I know I've talked about donating before, but I'll literally just take them to like Goodwill if it's something I know I can't sell, like a really, really inexpensive perfume that I got from like Ross or something. I don't shop at Ross or Burlington or any of those places for perfumes anymore, because anytime I bought a really inexpensive perfume, like Guess or anything like that, I would use it for a bit. I would never actually use it up as much as I thought. Some of the perfumes smelled really, really amazing, and they're wonderful dupes and they're great affordable perfumes. For me, I haven't bought them in a long time. There's like a handful of really affordable perfumes that I love that I will repurchase, and I just buy them usually from the department store or Walmart or Target. That's usually where they come from. But yeah, if you have like, I would say cheaper perfumes, try Facebook Marketplace selling them in a bundle. I've had good luck doing that multiple times, or donating. Okay, if it's anything other than perfumes, clothes, I think the same thing applies. I went through clothes recently. I'm trying to revamp my style. I'm already in my mid to late 30s now, and I'm trying to, I guess, like trying to update my wardrobe a little bit to be a little bit more work appropriate, comfortable. I don't feel comfortable, for example, wearing like mini dresses anymore, or like super short shorts. I used to wear shorts all the time, And although I do love my legs, I think I have great legs, I don't always like to wear shorts out in public as often as I used to. So I've updated my wardrobe quite a bit. It's a little bit still me. Definitely, I feel like you can wear whatever you want at any age. I'm definitely not at the Taylor Loft stage yet. I don't have an office job, so I don't wear office clothes. I don't wear blazers, things like that. But I have been using Stitch Fix a lot, and I love Stitch Fix. I've been using Stitch Fix and Daily Look for a while. And as I'm getting boxes quarterly, I'm choosing to update my wardrobe, and some things are coming in, some things are going out. And so what I've been doing is buy, sell, trade stores is my first stop. Second stop will be ThredUp. I'll just send things in a bag to ThredUp, whatever I can't sell, and the rest will go to a women's shelter or to Salvation Army or another local, charity shop. And that is the order I do things in. The reason why I do buy, sell, trade first is because a lot of my clothes are in really good condition. I can take really good care of the things that I have, and I tend to buy higher quality things. So usually I can take them to a buy, sell, trade store, get a little bit of cash, for gas or whatever, just extra cash for something else, or to put towards a Stitch Fix box or towards, outfits or stuff that I need to update my wardrobe. And I find that to be really beneficial. I will be honest, it's a pain in the butt sometimes. Sometimes I don't want to go to the buy, sell, trade store, but what makes it easy is I use Uptown Cheapskate local to me. The most local one that I have is one that is on Dyer here in El Paso, Texas, and it's really good. Like, they actually will donate whatever you don't want or whatever doesn't sell, whatever they don't want and you don't want to take back, they'll donate it. So I like that because I can take everything and I don't have to worry about loading anything back into my car. I go, I take it, they look through it, they buy what they want, they donate the rest, and I get a tax receipt for the donation. It's easy for me, and if I don't have enough stuff to take to them, then I'll go down the route of just sending it to ThredUp. Recently, I sent 2 huge bags to ThredUp, and ThredUp is definitely a hit or miss. But it's nice that with ThredUp, you can also get either cash when they sell your stuff. I've gotten a pretty good amount of money in cash. Or what I do is I shop a lot for my undergarments from Pact, and I also buy a lot of yoga wear from Pact. It is an organic cotton website, and you can actually get a pretty good credit from Pact. I've gotten quite a few things from decluttering clothes, sending it to ThredUp, and then getting a credit from Pact. I like my underwear, my most recent sports bras are all from Pact, and they were all bought through ThredUp credits. Decluttering doesn't have to be a huge thing. You don't have to do it all at once. I declutter a little bit at a time every day, whether it's my body care or my skincare, makeup, things like that. As far as makeup, the only thing that I can really suggest, used things can go to Project Beauty Share as long as they're not expired. I've sent boxes to Project Beauty Share so many times. They actually take used makeup products, clean them up, and give them to women who, again, are in bad situations, to help them prepare for jobs, to help them put together a full face, and to give them makeovers to help them feel wonderful about themselves again. I think it's a wonderful cause, and I wish that closer to me, there would be more places that do stuff like this. The only other places I have found that take used makeup are overseas, so nowhere here in the United States. So that is pretty much the only place I have found Project Beauty Share. If you have a chapter close to you, great. If not, you can mail them. That's what I do. It costs about $10 to mail the box. At least I don't feel like the makeup is going to waste. If it's anything brand new that you received as a gift, or something that didn't match your skin tone. I know I've had situations, and it happens to me quite often these days, where I buy something and it doesn't match my skin tone or it doesn't look that great, and I want to return it in the shop, whether it's Target, Walmart, even Ulta's done this, has literally just said, keep the product, here's your money back. I mean, I don't know how much stuff is not worth stuff anymore. They don't want the product back, but they've let me keep the product multiple times, and I'm just like, what do I do with this? And I feel bad just tossing it. So if it's brand new, you can donate it to a women's shelter. I know I keep going back to women's shelters, but there's so many charity shops local to you that you probably don't even know of that do so much good for people in your area. And I really think that if you have things to declutter, that is where you should be putting your energy towards. And like I said, me personally, I feel like you do need to get off the feeling of, I lost money on this, I want to get it back, because you're not going to get it back even if you try and sell your stuff. And if anything, I would think that it's more beneficial to donate it feel like you help somebody, get a tax receipt to write off on your taxes next year, and just learn the lesson of not to blow your money recklessly. Like I said, it doesn't really hurt me to do that anymore because I don't do it that often. And when it happens, at least I feel like I'm helping somebody else by doing the donation. I know a lot of people don't agree with that, but that's what I do, and that's my recommendation. I hope you guys found this decluttering tips video helpful. If you're thinking about decluttering, it will make you feel so much lighter. It'll make you feel so much more organized. When I first decluttered my perfume collection, or I first started to, I felt so much better. Like first I was so anxious because I had like around 100 and something bottles of perfume. It was ridiculous. And after I started selling a few bottles and not bringing that many back into my collection and not really shopping for perfumes hardly at all, I really felt a huge sense of relief, a huge sigh of relief. I felt like I had some control over my life. I got this new area here that you see in the corner where I have like my essential oil perfumes and my perfumes, and everything's kind of like in one, and I don't need like a whole cabinet for like just my perfumes, and I don't need several shelves. It's just like 3 little shelves, and actually 2 of them have perfumes on them, and those are all the perfumes I have. And I'm finally at a point where I have like, I think, I haven't counted them, but if I had to guess, that's about 15 bottles of perfume total, and they all really represent who I am. They all really smell like me. They're all ones that bring me joy. They're all ones I feel comfortable using on my body, that smell good, that I can use any time of the year, and that I have something for every occasion plus some, and I can actually use it and enjoy it, and it doesn't feel overwhelming. So that's just my perfumes. But even with my clothes, like my wardrobe represents me. Everything fits me perfectly in my wardrobe, and the things that don't fit great are put to the side for a while, and if I don't ever fit them again, then I just get rid of them. So I've developed really healthy habits with everything that I have, from my clothes to my perfume collection, my body care, everything. And it's more of, as I use it up, something new comes in, rather than constantly chasing the new thing. And that was where I wanted to get with my declutter journey. And my biggest tip is just to be gentle with yourself and do it a little bit at a time. And also remember that you cannot be bringing new things in if you're trying to declutter, because it's going to defeat the purpose. I was doing that at first. I was trying to declutter and I was still freaking shopping. And I realized that all the decluttering meant nothing because I was just bringing in new problems and having to get rid of something else or return something because it was just creating too much space, taking up too much space, clutter, all those things. And once I stopped buying things and I only buy things when I use something up or I really needed something or I really, really, really wanted something, then it made sense. I will say too that another way to prevent yourself from shopping is to create a wish list. I have a wish list on my phone. I haven't added anything to it in a really long time, but if I really want something, for example, a new fragrance comes out or I see someone do something and I really want to buy something, I'll make a wish list of the things that I'm wanting to buy. And once I'm ready to buy stuff or I feel like I'm ready to shop, I will go and look at my wish list and see if any of those things were things that I'm thinking about buying now. And if I really want something, if it feels like it's an impulse purchase, I will put it in a cart, save that tab on this phone, which is my iPod, right? And leave it there for a couple of days. And then when I'm going and clearing out my tabs, I do that like every now and then. I'll look at it and be like, do I really want this? A lot of times it's something ridiculously stupid that was marketed to me on Facebook that I would have never bought, but it was marketed towards me and it got me. And so that is preventing me from a lot of impulse purchases, just that habit of leaving the cart there and leaving it and not checking out. So yeah, I hope you found this video helpful. Happy decluttering. And if you have any decluttering tips for anyone below, leave a comment below and I will talk to you guys soon.